Since the Middle Ages, the death or resignation of a pope triggers one of the most secretive and fascinating rituals in the Catholic world, the Conclave. Behind sealed doors of the Sixtine Chapel, cardinals from around the globe vote, sometimes for days, even weeks, until white smoke rises, announcing a new leader for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. The Conclave is a deeply spiritual event, but it's also filled with very human dynamics, alliances, philosophies, visions of the future of the Church, a process shaped by prayer and, well, let's just face it, politics. Today, we're not here to predict the headlines. Tarot, for me at least, in this channel, isn't about predicting lottery numbers or guessing who's going to be sitting on the papal throne. It's about sensing the deeper archetypal patterns shaping these events, the forces moving through history, through culture, and through the hearts of men. So, before we draw the cards, I want to take a moment to acknowledge Pope Francis. Without a doubt, my personal favorite pope. His compassion, humility, and courage to speak for the poor, for the environment, and for a more open church have left a profound mark. Whether you're a Catholic, or spiritual, or just historically curious, there's no denying Francis has been a pope for the people. Whatever happens next, his legacy will stand as a historic turning point. So today, with respect and curiosity and a healthy dose of historical awareness, we're going to explore a few big questions through the lens of the Tarot. Will the next pope carry forward the spirit of Francis, or pivot back toward older, more conservative traditions? Are we perhaps witnessing the beginning of the end of an institution that has held on for 2 millennia? And what broader energies are shaping this critical moment in time? For this reading, I'll be using my own deck, Tarot Neocolonial de las Américas, a deck I created to explore the convergence of old and new worlds, history, myth, tradition, and change. It feels fitting for a moment like this. We'll draw 3 cards. The first card will reveal the forces shaping the election itself, the energy moving through the conclave. The second card will show the character or spirit of the next pope, what archetype steps forward. And the third card will point to the future direction of the papacy, evolution, restoration, or something else. And if needed, we'll draw a 4th card for extra clarity. So, let's shuffle the deck and see what the archetypes have to reveal. Nine of Cups, Nueve de Copas. 8 of Cups, Ocho de Copas. And 8 of Swords, Ocho de Espadas. First card, the energy surrounding the conclave, the 9 of Cups, Nueve de Copas. Now, at first glance, this is the so-called wish card. The card of satisfaction, indulgence, and comfort. Let's not be fooled by the jolly drunk Santa and his pirate entourage. This card isn't just about joy, it's also about excess, distraction, and losing one's way in the pursuit of pleasure or stability. In the context of the election, this may reflect a strong desire among many cardinals to return to comfort, to pick someone safe, familiar, even nostalgic. It suggests backroom deals, power dynamics, and a craving for control over a turbulent period. The Dionysian symbolism, the rum, the tiger, the laughter, hints at temptations to appease rather than transform. In other words, the forces shaping this conclave may prioritize image over reform, maintaining tradition over risking renewal. But there's also a deeper layer here. Silenus, the drunken sage, could see the future. So amid the chaos and indulgence, there's wisdom if one knows where to look. Okay, the second card, the spirit of the next Pope, the Eight of Cups, Ocho de Copas. This is the archetype of the spiritual seeker, a weary pilgrim walking away from past comforts. He is not the triumphant hero. He is the broken-hearted wanderer, choosing simplicity, solitude, and purpose over pleasure. If this represents the next Pope, we may see someone older, possibly humble, and disillusioned by what came before. Someone walking away, not just from Francis's legacy, but perhaps from the weight of the institution itself. He may carry some of Francis's spirit, a preference for the poor, a rejection of pomp, but he might not have the same strength or clarity of vision. Instead, he may serve as a transitional figure, a bridge, not a builder. There's hope here, but it's quiet, a man of resignation, more than revolution. And then we have the third card, the future of the papacy, the Eight of Swords, Ocho de Espadas. And this is the most sobering card of the reading. We see Saint Sebastian tied and pierced, a symbol of unjust suffering and spiritual endurance. Surrounding him, lab rabbits. Innocent, expendable, used and discarded in the name of progress or profit. It's a haunting scene. The papacy may be entering a period of extreme pressure, constrained by modern forces, ethical dilemmas, and internal contradictions. The Church is trapped between its ancient identity and a world that no longer plays by the same rules. This card warns of persecution, silencing, perhaps scandal, but also, and this is crucial, it speaks of awakening through suffering, of the potential for liberation once illusions are stripped away. Something may need to break for something else to be reborn. So let's bring this together. The conclave may be driven more by comfort than conscience. The next pope may be a solitary figure, reflective, perhaps transitional. And the institution itself, it's facing mounting pressure from within and without. The question isn't just who the next pope will be. It's whether the church in its current form can evolve, or whether it will remain bound by its own history. Let's be honest, we may be looking at one of the final acts of an ancient play. And for extra clarity, I think it's worth exploring a fourth card here. And we draw the card from the middle of the deck. And we got the Six of Wands, Seis de Bastos. Victory, recognition, a hero's return. But in this deck, that victory belongs not to a saint or a prophet, but to Theodore Roosevelt, of all people, the face of American imperial expansion after the Spanish-American War. The war that stripped Spain from its last colonies, Cuba, Filipinas, Guam, y Puerto Rico, my homeland. Here, the white horse and waving troops echo the Rider-Waite classic. But the setting reminds us, not all victories are innocent. This is the triumph of empire, the kind that marches in, declares success, and reshapes the world in its own image. So what does this say about the next pope and the future of the church? It may point to a figure who is celebrated, publicly hailed as a stabilizer or a restorer, someone perceived as returning order, a possible shift towards tradition, discipline, and authority, but perhaps at the cost of more radical compassion. To summarize, the conclave, Nine of Cups, Nueve de Copas, will likely be shaped by internal politics, nostalgia, and a desire for comfort, not necessarily progress. The next pope, Eight of Cups, Ocho de Copas, may be a transitional figure, humble, tired, seeking simplicity, but not the reformer some hope for. The papacy's future, Eight of Swords, Ocho de Espadas, looks constrained, possibly facing crisis, ethical, institutional, or existential. But with the Six of Wands, the Church may still project strength, returning to a more triumphant public image, reclaiming lost ground, or simply appearing, even if the real battle is still ongoing. This isn't the fall of Rome yet, but it might just be the calm before a bigger reckoning. A paradoxical mix of withdrawal, entrapment, and pageantry. An institution at the crossroads of legacy and survival. And yes, I know what some of you are thinking. What about Peter the Roman, the Black Pope, the prophecies of St. Malachi? Look, I'm not here to sell apocalyptic fan fiction. But I will say this. History has a twisted sense of humor, and archetypes have a way of showing up in disguise. So we'll just keep our eyes open. So there you have it. Not a prophecy, just a reflection. A look at the deeper patterns shaping one of the oldest institutions still standing in our world today. Whatever happens next, history has a way of surprising us, and archetypes have a way of playing the long game. So, thank you very much for watching. If you found this reading thought-provoking, feel free to subscribe for more art, archetypes, and reflections like this one. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And, as always, may the gods, angels, muses, or whatever you want to call these timeless cosmic archetypes be your guides and inspiration. Until next time, peace. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. Also, check out the video on the screen right now for more insights and inspiration. Your support means everything to me and helps this channel grow. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.